what we've got here is failure to communicate.
Hey, I'm UFC President Dana White, and you're in the ring with Callum McGregor.
They're staring at me, see them?
And I'm really hoping it continues to pour in on Allen, because I will lean Hooker all day. If it doesn't go that way, I'll probably just stay off completely. Arnold Allen against Dan Hooker. Arnold Allen is a guy who fights, once a year. Usually it's on a UK card. With Arnold Allen, he has solid striking, some good boxing, some good grappling. One of your typical well-rounded generational coming up and good at everything as he's developing fighters. He is a little bit of a world beater, but we don't know about it because Allen, doesn't fight enough. And then I would argue that the strength of schedule, it's not the same. I would argue it and I'd win that argument 1,000 times because Hooker's fought everybody. And yeah, he's beat everybody, or he's got beaten by a certain chunk of people at the higher level. And then he's been training wrestling and drilling wrestling like crazy as well now too. It's something that he's really instituted into his game even more. And let's not forget, if someone tries to go for a heel hook on him, he's going to sit up and still throw punches. I just think that he's going to make everybody look stupid in this fight. I think he's going to come out and he's going to catch Arnold Allen multiple times. Does he knock him out? I don't necessarily know that, but I think he's going to potentially win the fight. The distance control plus the fact that he has, what's his reach right now? Is it 6-inch reach advantage?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6-inch reach advantage. You're giving 6-inch reach advantage to Dan Hooker. And he's coming down in weight. So my only thing is if he looks good on the scale. He's already done the weight cut once to see what the weight cut would be like recently. So if the weight cut's good and he's on point, then man, I really pray that Dan Hooker's sitting around like plus 130, something around there. We can get him there. I'm good because then his prop conditions will be better as well too. And I'll sprinkle KO and decision as well. Everything down the table. We went inside on the Hooker train there. I think you're on the same page. What do you say?
To be honest, I'm kind of completely torn on this one. I kind of want Arnold Allen to win. I think the guy's got the higher ceiling than Dan Hooker. But in the same respect, like there's a lot of variables with Dan Hooker in this one, right? He's coming down. He hasn't made the 145 weight in quite some time. There's been some pictures circulating where he hasn't looked the best. That being said, I don't feel like anybody cutting weight probably looks the best up until the day. So it's hard to take a lot of information off that. But you're right. Like the reach advantage is going to be a good thing. Dan Hooker showed some relatively improved wrestling in his fight against Nazareth Hackprass where we did not see that coming. And the thing that stuck out to me with Arnold Allen is whenever he fought Sadiq Youssef, he won that fight based on the knockdowns. He didn't win that fight based on winning minutes. And with Dan Hooker is going to be in his face 24/7. So I kind of do agree with you on the spot. I kind of have to lean Hooker. I won't be mad if Allen wins, but I struggle to see where Allen's going to win minutes in this because he's not a high volume striker. He's not a high volume grappler. And Dan Hooker, so we saw the guy, he pretty much took out Dustin Poirier in the first round. Like the guy's coming out and he's coming out the fight. And if Arnold Allen isn't ready for that dogfight, Hooker's going to bring it to him. And people are going to be relatively surprised by the way this fight goes.
Like here's sort of how I can see it. Obviously, if Allen can get into the ground pretty early in a fight, this blows up both those thoughts in my mind or narratives in my head. But I just think that if Allen does shoot early and into the first into the first half round, and does get Hooker to the ground, and I think Hooker's going to get back to his feet, get to the cage, get up, and when he does that, I think he's going to slowly start coasting into his striking. If Allen doesn't jump into the takedowns right away, I think he's going to get lulled into a Hooker show. I think Hooker's going to piece him up on the feet and stay at distance.